And welcome back. And on this Monday, Devin and I are going to do something a little bit different. Devin's going to show us a little weather experiment. Devin, what are you planning on doing?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about air pressure. So obviously we see air pressure that changes a lot, when we get like high pressure and low pressure moving in, with active weather though. So we're going to try to mimic this here just a little bit with a very fun experiment that even Jeff has done in his school talk. So it's very simple. We have 2 wine glasses. You could get away with 1 here, but we have 2 here to kind of keep it simple because I have too much water here. But you need just a little bit here on a plate. You have a marshmallow here. We have plenty more where that came from too. So you can roast marshmallows later, right?
Okay, yeah, for sure. Let's try it.
Yeah, so you can dump a little bit of this water into the plate. You do just a little bit here, just enough here. I may have put too much in, but it'll still work for the amount that we have here. Okay. You put the marshmallow in, and the marshmallow is simply just acting as a holding mechanism here. So it's not, the marshmallow is not really doing anything other than just holding this little birthday candle that you see right here. You'll stick it into the marshmallow. So I guess you can say you have a little mimic candle holder, like you see with candles at a store or something like that. And we're gonna light this here and get it going just a little bit. All right, so now it's all lit. So we're gonna get it going, produce some heat here, because obviously we get a little bit more energy going because fire is hot. So temperature, let's think temperature here though. So molecules are gonna start moving a little bit faster though, because that's what temperature measures. So with the way that molecules move, air expands a little bit, right? So the pressure is actually gonna drop inside this here. So it's gonna be a little bit higher outside. And this fire actually eats up oxygen. Watch what happens here when we put all this up. You can see that the fire is still burning. Now it's starting to go out though, and look what happened. The water is actually going inside of the glass here.
Very interesting. So everything all the water on the plate just went under the glass and is in the glass right now.
It went right in there though, because the heat expanded it here, so some of the air got forced out, so not as much air outside as inside, or not as much air inside as there is outside though. And once that fire starts to go out, even right when it was going out though, we saw water starting to go in though, because we started seeing more of the air rushing in though. Air pressure wants to try to equal out. We don't like seeing pressures that are different, and obviously we see that behaving with weather all the time, right? So the water is inside. I think it's safe to say some air kind of got through with the air bubbles. That's that hot air that's kind of getting forced in, maybe some trying to mix in as well. So it's really kind of a nice simple experiment that's safe that you can also do at home, so you can easily do it again.
We could do it again.
We can do it again, so let's do it again here. So we can do it kind of an instant replay here for those that like sports language here. So you can easily light this again, get this fire nice and hot, and this time I'm not going to go as slow here. Let's get a little daredevilish here. Let's actually put this wine glass right on top of it here and really just hustle up and cover it up. You already tell we're starting to get some changes here because the fire is quickly burning out and causing things to really cool off in there once that fire goes out. So temperature changes, which is causing the air pressure to change a little bit. So you can kind of think your barometer though. So the air pressure is a little bit lower. It was lower in there at first, and when the air tried to go in there, it also pushed some water in there, and it kind of stays that way at least until you kind of interact, and thus air pressure is now equal again. So we have a quick little chart here, a couple charts here that we can kind of talk about those. So we have higher pressure that's on the outside though. That's on max 1, Jordan, if you're wondering. So we do have that chart here. So we're kind of looking at here with high pressure and kind of some forcing air that kind of goes out a little bit. The pressure kind of goes a little bit. I should say with low pressure on the inside though. So we're starting to see air kind of rush in there where the higher pressure is. So we're kind of dealing with high pressure on the outside here that's forcing into the glass, because that's where the lower pressure is, because it wants to try to equal out. So it's really interesting on how this really kind of behaves. So really kind of a fun little segment to do here on a holiday weekend when people are kind of resting up. And this is something you can do at home too. Just a marshmallow, maybe a wine glass or 2, some water, maybe some food coloring if you want to see it a little bit better. But yeah, you can demonstrate the changes of air pressure, which we do see a lot with low pressure and high pressure systems. We see low pressure on the inside of the glass. Once the fire goes out, the higher pressure outside just forces its way on in though. So we kind of see that behaving in our weather patterns.
All right, well, Devin, that was a lot of fun. Definitely, science can be fun at times.
It can be very fun, and a lot of information too,
For sure.
right?
Yeah, we're going to try to do more of these throughout the year, really, just sporadically around.
Yeah, we'll do our best to definitely try to do more every now and again. These can be very fun.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for that update, Devin.